10 American cities that are ruined by immigrants. Imagine that some of America's most iconic cities are facing an unprecedented challenge, and unfortunately, it's not a positive one. Once symbols of prosperity and cultural richness, cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami are now struggling under the weight of a massive wave of immigration. Many of these places, which were once emblematic of the American dream, are now experiencing harsh realities as population shifts put immense pressure on both infrastructure and community life. Did you know that in some cities, over 60% of the residents were born outside of the country? This has led to uncontrollable problems such as rising crime, housing crises, and cultural conflicts. Cities once known for vibrancy and opportunity are now becoming places filled with anxiety and instability. But how did these epicenters of American civilization reach this point? And what will the future hold for these cities as they continue to grapple with immigration challenges? In today's video, we'll explore the 10 cities most heavily impacted by immigration. We'll go beyond the numbers, diving into the real-life stories of residents who are directly affected by these changes. We'll shine a light on the strain on public services, the erosion of local cultures, and even the destruction of traditional community values. This story is not just about new arrivals, but also about whether these cities can maintain their identities while attempting to adapt to change. Let's begin this journey of discovery. And if you appreciate the insights I've worked hard to bring you, please hit the subscribe button so I can continue sharing more stories. Number 10. Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, a city famous for its deep history and top-tier education, is now at a crucial crossroads. Known for its prestigious universities and diverse culture, Boston has long been considered one of America's intellectual and cultural hubs. However, with a significant increase in immigrant numbers, this city is now facing serious challenges that cannot be ignored. More than 27% of Boston's residents were born outside the country. While this diversity has brought many benefits, it has also put pressure on the city's housing and infrastructure. Soaring rent prices have forced many native Bostonians to move away, unable to afford living in the city they've known all their lives. Moreover, public services such as education and healthcare are overwhelmed, struggling to meet the demands of an increasingly dense and diverse population. Additionally, there is a stark cultural shift as traditional Boston neighborhoods are being replaced by new communities. For many, this change brings a sense of unfamiliarity and loss, as though the city they once loved now exists only in the past. Boston exemplifies how waves of immigration can create long-term impacts, and the question remains whether this city can adapt without losing its unique identity. Number 9. Dallas, Texas. When people think of Dallas, they often imagine economic opportunities and rapid growth. The city has become one of America's top hubs for technology and commerce. But behind this development is a lesser-known story. The rapid transformation of Dallas, due to waves of immigration, has created significant challenges for both locals and new communities. With nearly 25% of the population born outside the country, Dallas is witnessing continuous demographic shifts. While this has brought new business and job opportunities, it has also driven up housing prices and living costs, especially in downtown areas. Longtime Dallas residents are increasingly feeling marginalized as they can no longer afford to live in places they once called home. Furthermore, the rapid population growth has led to increased crime rates, creating instability in many parts of the city. Dallas faces a difficult dilemma: how to sustain economic growth while ensuring that long-term residents are not left behind. The future of Dallas will depend on how the city confronts and adapts to these significant demographic changes. Number 8. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, a city known for its rich history and key role in the civil rights movement, is also undergoing a period of unprecedented change. With over 15% of residents born outside the country, this city is witnessing both cultural and economic transformation. As one of the economic and cultural centers of the South, Atlanta has attracted many immigrants in search of a better life. However, this sudden population growth has put immense strain on the city's infrastructure. Traffic is worsening, and rising housing costs are making it harder for middle-class families to maintain their lives in previously affordable areas. Culturally, the diversity brought by immigration has altered the city's identity. Atlanta, once known for its close-knit communities and Southern traditions, now struggles to preserve its character amid constant change. The challenges Atlanta faces highlight that while diversity can be an asset, it also requires the city to find ways to integrate and develop sustainably without losing its core values. Number 7. Phoenix, Arizona. Next, we move to Phoenix, a city that has seen rapid growth in recent years, evolving from a quiet desert town to one of the fastest-growing urban areas in the U.S. With nearly 25% of the population born abroad, Phoenix was once a symbol of new opportunities and promise. However, this boom has also brought unexpected challenges. As a city located on the front lines of Latin American immigration, Phoenix has become the destination for thousands of migrants seeking a better life. But this growing wave of immigration has also placed tremendous pressure on public services, especially in education and healthcare. Schools are overwhelmed by increasing class sizes, while healthcare facilities struggle to meet the needs of the expanding population. This has led to feelings of abandonment in many long-established Phoenix communities, as they find themselves pushed to the margins amidst this growth. Housing is another significant issue contributing to the tension. With more people moving into Phoenix, the demand for affordable housing has skyrocketed, driving up prices in areas that were once considered reasonably priced. A city known for its spacious environment and warm community atmosphere is now losing that sense of comfort. While some see this change as part of progress, many others feel that Phoenix is losing its unique identity. The big question is, can Phoenix continue to grow without losing its sense of community and the values it once stood for? Number 6. San Francisco, California. Continuing our journey, we turn our attention to San Francisco, a city famous for its iconic bridges, tech-driven skyline, and breathtaking views. But behind the glittering lights of Silicon Valley, San Francisco is facing an unprecedented immigration crisis. Nearly 36% of the city's population was born outside the country, a figure few could have predicted. As the world's leading tech hub, San Francisco has attracted talent from all corners of the globe, enriching the city's culture and economy. However, this influx has also driven housing prices to astronomical levels, creating one of the most expensive real estate markets in the country. Long-time residents are finding it increasingly difficult to hold on to their homes as rents and living costs continue to soar. Neighborhoods that were once ideal places to settle down are now too expensive for those who have called the city home for decades. Meanwhile, the wealth gap in San Francisco is widening. While tech millionaires live in luxury homes, a large portion of the population is struggling with homelessness and severe social inequality. The deteriorating public infrastructure only worsens the situation, as healthcare and social services fail to meet the growing demand. At the current pace of development, the question is not whether San Francisco can solve these issues, but whether the city can survive before the situation becomes even worse. Number 5. Chicago, Illinois. Now let's head to Chicago, a city known for its magnificent skyscrapers and rich history. However, Chicago is also undergoing profound changes that few could have predicted. With over 20% of the population now born abroad, the city is experiencing dramatic shifts in its social and economic fabric. One of the most significant impacts of this rapid immigration wave is the growing economic inequality. While some immigrants have succeeded and contributed to the local economy, many others are struggling to integrate. This has created fierce competition in an already strained job market. leaving many longtime Chicago residents feeling pushed to the sidelines. These changes are not only economic. Neighborhoods once known for their solidarity and tradition are now grappling with deep cultural divides. Many longtime residents no longer recognize the places they grew up in as new cultural influences take over. This has led to a sense of loss and alienation for many, as though they are being excluded from their own city. Chicago, once renowned for its resilience and the strength of its working-class spirit, now faces an uncertain future as the pressures of immigration continue to grow. Number 4. Houston, Texas. Houston, one of the largest cities in the U.S., is renowned for its energy industry, southern hospitality, and cultural diversity. But behind the glittering image of growth, Houston is grappling with a series of challenges brought on by a powerful wave of immigration. Today, nearly 30% of the city's population was born abroad, and this change is having a deep impact on both Houston's economy and its cultural identity. The city has long benefited from diversity, with immigrants playing an essential role in sectors such as oil, healthcare, and technology. However, rapid growth has led to fierce competition in the job market, particularly in industries that support the working class. Many locals feel left behind as once stable opportunities become harder to find. Their lives are becoming increasingly difficult as living costs rise and job prospects dwindle. Additionally, Houston's cultural shift is causing tension within communities. While some embrace diversity, others feel that the city's traditional southern charm is fading. Neighborhoods once known for their long-standing family traditions are transforming too quickly, leaving many longtime Houstonians worried about the future. Can Houston find a way to preserve its identity while continuing to grow? The answer remains uncertain. Number 3. Miami, Florida. Miami, famous for its beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and strong influence from Latin America, has long been a destination for immigrants. Today, over 60% of Miami's population was born abroad, a fact that has shaped the city's unique culture. However, this immigration growth is starting to present challenges that many locals feel are hard to ignore. One of Miami's most pressing issues is the housing crisis. Population growth has driven up both home prices and rent, making it increasingly difficult for long-time residents to afford living in the city. Areas that were once affordable are now experiencing gentrification, pushing original communities to the outskirts. Miami, once a showcase of cultural fusion, now faces the risk of losing its soul as diversity is replaced by wealthy enclaves. Economically, the wealth gap in Miami is becoming more pronounced. While some immigrants have found success in business and contributed to the local economy, many others struggle to find stable employment. This disparity has placed a tremendous strain on public services and exacerbated tensions in the job market. Miami remains a city of opportunity, but whether it can retain its unique cultural identity amidst rapid change is still an open question. Number 2. New York City, New York. New York, often seen as the epitome of diversity and the American dream, has long been a melting pot of immigrants from around the world. Today, over 37% of the city's population was born abroad, and while this diversity has given New York its global reputation, it is also presenting unprecedented challenges. One of New York's biggest issues is skyrocketing rent prices. Areas like Queens and Brooklyn, once home to working-class families, are now undergoing demographic shifts as waves of immigration and gentrification have driven up costs, making it impossible for many to continue living there. Longtime New Yorkers feel like they're losing their footing in a city they've called home for decades. In addition, cultural changes in New York are becoming increasingly apparent. Known for its signature blend of cultures, New York is now facing rapid shifts that make many feel like the city is losing its unique identity. The city's buzz and vibrancy seem to be giving way to the pressures of overcrowding, job competition, and tensions between old and new communities. The question is whether New York can maintain its resilient spirit and unique character amidst these changes. Number 1. Los Angeles, California. Finally, we arrive at Los Angeles, a globally iconic city known for its entertainment industry, year-round sunshine, and cultural diversity. Nearly 40% of LA's population was born abroad, and while this has contributed to the city's rich diversity, it has also brought significant challenges. One of LA's biggest problems is the housing crisis. With an increasing number of immigrants arriving, home prices have soared to unprecedented levels, making the dream of living in LA unattainable for many. Homelessness is on the rise, with tent cities popping up even in areas that were once considered upscale. The city's infrastructure is also overwhelmed, from transportation to hospitals and schools, unable to keep up with the demands of the growing population. Moreover, LA's culture is changing. Neighborhoods like East LA and South Central, once known for strong community bonds, are undergoing transformations that make long-time residents feel like they are being replaced. Cultural and social tensions are mounting as these communities face rapid change. LA has always been a place of reinvention and renewal, but this time, the level of change feels deeper. The big question is, can Los Angeles remain the land of opportunity, or will it become a place where its own residents feel left behind?